Shanley from Sky Sports. Steve, you know you need at least a point. How do you balance off being more of an attacking threat this time around but making sure you're much stronger at the back?
No, I think to go into the game and think you only need a point is dangerous. We go there to win. We go there to be as positive as we can, and then we see where that takes us. Like I said, it's more about making sure we perform as well as we can play, and if we do that, then I'm pretty confident we'll get something from the game.
Hello, Connie McLaughlin, ITV.
Hello, Connie.
Hello. You were really honest with us a couple of days ago just about your own reflections. You've had a couple more days to think about it. What do you think you've learned about you and yourself as a coach, Steve, in the last few days that maybe you didn't know before?
Just thinking about my team, really. What I can do to help them. Any personal reflections I'll do after the tournament.
Anyone else?
Keith Jackson.
Thank you. Keith Jackson, Daily Record. Steve, do you get the impression from the chats that you've had and you know, being around the players over the last 24 hours in particular that they're itching to go, that you know, they're bursting to get back out and try and put a few things right?
Obviously, they want to go back to the pitch and play better. So I think that's pretty standard when you play so poorly and you let yourself down. You want to go out and make amends. So that's where their mentality is.
Robert.
Hi, Steve. Robert Grieve from The Sun. I'm just wondering, do you rate this as the biggest game you've had as Scotland manager?
I think I've always said before, that's for the end of my career. I'll decide when I'm finished whether it's the biggest game or the biggest game ever in my career. So it's not really a question that I've ever answered before, and I'm not going to start now.
Steve McGowan, Daily Mail. Can I ask just how big a challenge does Switzerland pose in this game tomorrow?
Yeah, big challenge. Good team. They have a lot of good players, very strong through the spine of the team, defend well, don't give too much away, and good pace up front. So we expect a difficult night.
Any questions from the Swiss media at all, please? This gentleman here, please.
Good evening, Florian Ratz, Tamedia. The Hungarian coach admitted that he was surprised by Murat Yakin because the Swiss coach played differently than he used to play before. How do you expect the Swiss? Do you even think you can prepare the match? Will they play like they played in the qualification? Will they play like against Hungary? How do you expect them? Because we don't know, Swiss media.
I think with the way they tweaked their system, I don't think it was a radical change, but there was definitely a little tweak in the system and how they use certain players within that system. Whether they used that specifically for the Hungarians or whether they've got something up their sleeve for us, we won't know until we get to the pitch. So we have to be prepared for anything. We have to be as well prepared as we can be. We think we are.
Kerrigan.
Can we just check your team news, who's fit, who's not, and also can we expect changes tomorrow? I know you're not going to give me your team, much as I would love you to, but can we expect changes tomorrow in personnel?
Everyone fit and available. Obviously, Ryan Porteous doesn't play, so you can expect at least one change. At least one.
Any other questions from the Swiss media?
Go on, Ronnie.
Steve, could just ask you about Ryan Porteous and the 2-game ban. What was your thoughts on that?
I haven't really got any. He's suspended. I covered this on Sunday.
If we can just, this gentleman here, please.
Steve, Etienne Vuillemin from Switzerland as well. Can you compare Toni Kroos and Granit Xhaka, or is Toni Kroos one or more levels above him?
Try to get him into trouble. No, listen, two very similar players. Similar in terms of the style of play, how they dictate or control the game for their team. So we understood that Toni Kroos was a key player for Germany. We didn't handle him very well. So we know that Granit Xhaka is a key player for Switzerland, and hopefully we handle him a little bit better.
If there's anyone just remote, I was going to say, just sorry, if there's anyone remotely, please put your hand up and we'll come to you. Darren, you choose. Yeah.
If not, we'll have last question from the back. Did you have your hand up? Yeah. Siobhan.
Hi Steve, Shaban here from TalkSport. Just very quickly, how important is it for the players to channel their emotions properly tomorrow, and is that something that you worked on this week in training? If so, how did you work on that?
No, I think it's always important for players to keep their emotions in check, to understand what we need to get from the game, to understand how we have to approach the game. We didn't start very well at all in Germany, so after 7 minutes we're chasing the game. After 20 minutes it's looking like a long night. So we have to make sure we start well, do better, and make sure we get a good foothold in the game right from the start.